Here's the cover to the latest World Economic Forum video. Looks like, I can't tell if that's Elon Omar. I don't think it is, though. Next to Pharrell Williams, Vladimir Putin. I forget the girl's name from the IMF, Klaus Schwab. I really don't know who that is in the middle or what that is. George Bush, Al Gore, Bono, Greta Thunberg. Who else we have there? Ivanka Trump. Interesting. Very interesting. Barack Obama and Angela Merkel. Interesting. Let's see what videos they put up about this virtual Davos. Now let's have a look at some of the key speakers at the World Economic Forum, since they're talking about this great reset and they're pretty much in your face about it. We're going to look at their new video they posted also, but I'm going to do that shortly. So we have Mr. Bill Gates, Robert Downey Jr. Who else do we have? I'm not sure who that is. I think he's part of the World Economic Forum. That's the UN General Secretary, Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London, Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, Al Gore, professional grifter, former Vice President, Vladimir Putin, President of Russia, oligarch, all-around kind of gangster. Who else do we have here? We got Macron, another president puppet, Angela Merkel of Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa. Not like there's anything messed up going on there, is there, sir? Okay, I'm gonna be rather vague about that. There's Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations. Greta Thunberg, notable scientist and Mensa. Who else do we have? There's Mr. Klaus Schwab himself, the man who started the whole shebang. And then we have this. This is the video we're going to focus on in a moment. That was released 2 days ago. Then we have, representing more of the United States, Anthony Fauci and Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping, thug of the Chinese Communist Party, also known as Winnie the Pooh, and currently running gulags and concentration camps in his country. Who do we have here? I'm not sure who these three gentlemen are. Sebastian Saldago, Global Davos Concert. Who else do we have here? I'm not sure who these people are, the Davos. Education Skills, Global Risks, Viral Press Coverage, accelerating racial justice in the workplace, because God knows the racist hellhole almost every job environment is. Disability inclusion, okay, don't know exactly what that means. Learning in the workplace, setting standards, fast forward to the frontier technologies. Okay, so you think they would have like a Thomas Sowell or Mark Hansen? I don't know. Somebody, maybe a professional farmer talking about land. What about Peter Schiff? Peter Schiff, there you go. Somebody that knows about capitalism, because what they're talking about is not capitalism. We have crony corporate capitalism. And I'm going to show you more of what they say in their new video and how blatantly in their face they are about it. Okay, so here's the new Davos video.
The pandemic has radically changed the world as we know it. The actions we take today as we work to recover will define our generation.
Like anal swabs.
What history
Someone from the International Monetary Fund.
2020 has been challenging on a lot of levels, as economic, environmental and societal frailties have been laid bare. But it's also proved that when we need to, we can act rapidly and restructure our
Mask
lives.
up, triple mask up, quadruple mask up.
We can see rays of hope in the form of a vaccine, but there is no vaccine.
You see right there, this Great Reset is nothing. COVID is the excuse. It's about, and climate change, they could watch. Look how they transform this. It's all optics and visuals.
For the planet. Nature needs
the rainbow.
You don't want to go back to the status quo that you had before simply because it was the status quo that got us here.
With everything falling apart, we can reshape.
Notice that. Does that look familiar? That collapsing building? Something that happened in September 20 years ago?
The world in ways we couldn't
that reminds you of something?
Ways that better address so many of the challenges we face. And that's why so many are calling for a great reset.
Wait, so many are calling for a great reset. Who are all these people that are calling for it? The only people that are calling for this great reset are the people that will remain in power. The technocrats, the hedge funds, the soulless devils that run big banks and the International Monetary Fund. Ridiculous.
A great reset? That sounds more like buzzword bingo masking some nefarious plan for world domination. Hands up, this kind of slogan hasn't gone down well. But all we really want to say is...
Wait, do you see this? They are actually referencing the movie They Live. They're pretty funny. They're pretty funny.
We all have an opportunity to build a better world.
They're not trying to build a better
people who've
world.
Been disenfranchised by a broken system and pushed even further by the pandemic will
That's a
suspect global
buzzword.
leaders of conspiracy. But the world's not that simple. Every one of us has differing priorities, values, and ideas.
Except nobody in Davos has any priorities except remaining in power and
because
wealth.
whether it's politicians, CEOs, academics, activists,
look at all these people
or you,
here.
We're all about getting people together, even those you may not like.
Maybe getting
sit
people
down at the table and develop solutions that work for all of us. But
we need enormous trust between the private sector and the public sector for this to actually work. That trust is hard.
The public sector.
It's time for people to work together, listen to each other, and build this trust so we can move towards a better world. And we really need one. Because while the pandemic affects us all,
Again with
it's
the
clear
pandemic.
it affects some more than others.
Again with the pandemic.
First people who are hit are the people at the front, those who are vulnerable. It is those on the front line who take it first, and that is simply unacceptable.
See, at the start of 2020, 1% of the world's population owned 44% of the wealth. And since the start of the pandemic, billionaires have increased theirs by more than 25%, whilst...
And everybody attending Davos is almost a billionaire. I'm very perplexed at what their message is.
150 million people fell back into extreme poverty.
Do you really care?
With climate change set to dwarf the damage caused by the pandemic, the message from 2020 should be abundantly clear.
Capitalism, as we know it, is dead.
Capitalism is dead. Capitalism was dead as soon as it turned into crony capitalism. Because true capitalism is just an exchange of goods for services. That's you pay me for my work, or I build a deck, you pay me. That's all it is. Free trade. Crony capitalism.
This obsession that we have had with maximizing profits for shareholders alone has led to incredible inequality and a planetary emergency.
And how much money are you giving up, sir? How much?
But no one can do this alone, and top-down approaches won't get us anywhere, because everything we've learned in our work has shown us that diverse voices lead to better results. And it's for these reasons that the
diverse voices do not lead to better results. Look, they actually have, that's not that robot Sophia, is it? No, that's just somebody else. Anyway, diverse voices bring out diverse results. You need united voices. You need everybody on the same page. Look at all these people here. It's unbelievable. It's diverse. I'll get into what all of this really is in a moment.
Which would shift businesses away from just profit. Because
if we want to change where the focus of our recovery will go, then we need a new dashboard for the new economy. And that needs to encompass people, planet, prosperity, and institutions.
Giving people a real stake in the economy and putting well-being before growth.
Right. You're gonna have a stake in the economy. You might have a stake in your heart, not in the economy.
Relationship with nature for the survival of the peoples and our planet.
We have a window of time
that's
which is
bad.
closing, and we need everybody who cares to get together and find solutions now.
Conservationists.
It's the people who have great ideas and who share them with others. They're the ones who are shaping the future. So if you want to be a part of the change, then tune in, turn on, and get involved.
This is the first time they want you to watch Davos. Do you want to know why?
On YouTube.
Because they know most people won't. It's all smoke and mirrors. I can't. There you have just a brief idea of what's going on in the virtual Davos. It's odd, because Klaus Schwab is, a lot of it's delving into COVID-19, and like I said, this is the book I'm still going through because I've got a lot going on, so I haven't finished it yet. But see, it's COVID-19, the Great Reset. This here is the catalyst for the Great Reset, right there, right here. This is right here. So, and we all see how the numbers and data change daily on that. That's neither here nor there. But it's almost like they're turning a lot of these people in Davos into some form of celebrity. You have your Greta Thunbergs and your Robert Downey Jr.'s and your Sadiq Khans, and you're talking a lot about climate change and diversification of gender diversity and acceptance and racial inequalities. When everybody I see that's there is of a wide spectrum of genders, races, backgrounds. However, one thing they all do have in common, almost every one of them is of the elite, the 1%. So I'm not buying into their whole nonsense of their wealth inequality. They're not, Joe Biden's not there, ironically, because I don't believe he would be able to speak coherently in front of such people. So he sent John Kerry. John Kerry, who owns his own private jet, to fly there. That's quite the carbon footprint, considering you're talking about climate change. It's just the hypocrisy of it all. They're not interested in that. And none of these, Sadiq Khans or the Joe Bidens or the Ramaphosa's of South Africa or even the Donald Trumps, they're not really in charge. They're not. Those that are in charge are in the shadows and, shadow government. It's more of the IMFs, the central banks, the Federal Reserves, World Economic Forums, the UNs. Those are the people that are in charge. They're the ones that are pulling the strings. On average you'll have, your Putin or your Biden. They'll make decisions for the country, but the real decision making are from the true wealth people. These are the banks. And this has been the way it's been forever. Those who control this money and control this credit lending and control this manipulation of currency, whatever how you want to look at it, control the markets. Like, look what happened with what was that thing with GameStop yesterday? Web Bank, Start Bank, whatever that was. Web Investments, well, I don't know, whatever it was. You know, that was the mob rule. The mob went after the hedge funds, and they made them look stupid. So, yeah, that was straight out of Gustave Le Bon. Or Ronnie James Dio, the mob rules. Yeah, they went after them. They took a worthless stock, because GameStop is still going out of business, trust me. They just manipulated it to take all these short sellers, these red short sellers, and stick it to them. And what happened? They didn't like that. They didn't like that at all. They don't want you doing that. But anyway, this has been going on, like I said, for centuries, ever since the Pope declared war on the Templars because of their lending and interest practices. This is how long it's been going on, for centuries. Centuries. Rothschilds controlling, you know, the Battle of Waterloo and saying that France won when it was a lie. Crashing that stock market and then buying up all the shares. 1929, that whole manipulation there, and wars, you know, they're worried about climate change. Well, why don't you just dismantle this whole industrial military complex of warring machines and using depleted uranium and nuclear weapons, getting rid of some of these nuclear facilities. That's not clean energy. Fukushima is still a problem today. Still a problem today. Chernobyl, you still can't go there. So it's not that clean. I mean, green energy, okay, solar makes sense to me, but you're telling me you haven't really done much with it in 60 years? Because they've been working on it. Solar cells aren't that powerful. Do you think if you want to put solar cells on your top of your house, and you're going to say, hey, I'm just going to, you know, run my own electricity, let me see how your local municipality handles that you're going off-grid while living in the city, that you're not paying for electric because you produce your own. See how that works out for you. Let me know how that works out for you. Because all this green energy and solar paneling, that's why China's buying up huge swaths of land in the United States, like in Arizona and Nevada, to put in solar energy. But it's for capitalism. They want to make money. They want to charge you for the solar energy. You think it's going to be free? Nothing's free. Nothing's free. They don't care about you. It's all a smokescreen. That's why you got Putin talking about, you know, oh, this is like how World War II started. They're doing a psyop, another Cold War psyop on everybody. They're not going to use nuclear weapons because that would just be a problem for the ones that remain. But anyway, there you go, is my little thoughts on Davos. Virtual Davos, the new celebrities. Klaus Schwab and Greta Thunberg.